Scar. Level 1 upgrade. This is my 1/16th E-Revo named Scar. He has a couple upgrades on him. They're pretty obvious to the eye. First of all, I have a Sawvox servo, the Sidewinder SV3, which works very nicely. Overpowered for this RC, but still awesome. Also got RPM A-arms, RPM axle carriers, aluminum hex hubs. Some of them I really like that most people don't have for some reason are the aluminum steering bell cranks and the post for it, which is very odd because I love that combo. It's very nice and stiff, and it won't flex like the plastic ones will. And for today's upgrade, I am going to be doing some 60,000 weight differential oil. What I have in there right now is some 7,000 weight. It's just what I had on hand, and it's what I use in my Slash 4x4. Well, the Mini E-Revo comes stock with 30,000 weight diff oil, and this is twice as heavy as that, and this is about, I'd say, a fourth of the weight that this is. So pretty much that means if I'm making a turn that the one tire is going to have more ability to turn than the other, because that's what a differential does. So without any hesitation, let's get into this upgrade. Also, pretty much any upgrade I do for this RC is going to be way different from any typical upgrade with the 1/16th Valenian system. I have the Sidewinder and a lot of custom stuff on it, and it's going to be a bit confusing or just a lot more different than it will be as stock. First thing I must do is take off the motor. The reason I need to do this is because there's some screws that hold in the shocks that I need to take out, and the motor is evidently blocking them. So to take it out, first thing I must do is take out this one screw to take off the front body mounts. Then I need to undo these two screws and take off the motor as long as unplug it, just to give me a bit more space. Now I must take out 5 screws to remove the rear body mounts. There are 2 on the back and 3 on the top. Now we must remove 6 screws, 4 for the rear skid plate and 2 that attach to the bulkhead. Take out these 2 screws that hold in the rear shock brace. If you flip the shocks around, you're going to see that there's an extra 2 screws right there. Take those out too. At this point, you should be able to freely take off the rear of the vehicle. Just like that, we are almost able to split these 2 halves apart. First of all, we need to remove the drive shafts, which are all held in with a grub screw. And then there's going to be another screw going through the 2 halves right there. Once you take those out, it's pretty much going to fall apart. So a lot of things are going to happen here. Once we take it apart, you can see that there's a lot of grease in these grooves. Don't worry about that now. Take out the center drive shaft and the differential pinion gear. Then we want to pull out the differential. Just with ease, take off these bearings, set them off to the side. I'm going to clean everything up, all the grease, and replace it later, but what I'm truly trying to accomplish here is taking apart this differential and putting in the new oil. So yeah, there are 3 screws on one cap side, and then all of it falls apart. I'm not going to be showing all this because it's literally a gigantic mess, and it's so tedious because there's so many small pieces. And yeah, I guess I'll just show it to you when I'm done cleaning it up and when the new oil is in. Alright, so I've opened up the differential, taken out the old oil, and now I've put in the new one. Now I can already feel a big difference on how much I can move it, which is awesome. And now I know that when I'm taking a turn, it's not going to create so much of a difference between the 2 wheels, and it won't cause too much ballooning either. So when I put this back together, I'm just going to start with shims on the one side, because it pushes this closer to the pinion gear. Put a bearing on it. Same goes for the other side. And then now we're going to take one of the halves. Then I push it in, take the center drive shaft, pop that in, put the other side on to clamp it together. Then we're going to put screws back in. Alright, so I did a couple things. First of all, I put this aluminum plate on the back. The reason I did that is was because, not puzz or whatever, is because I was putting the screw into here, and you need to adjust the gear mesh. It actually is a lot like a spur and pinion, except you have to have them a lot closer together. And so you just got to make sure that this doesn't fold up right here because it's just plastic, and just keep it as tight as possible. Have a necessary amount of shims in, and then once you're done that, you're going to put some white lithium grease over the gears to keep it nice and smooth, because if not, then it's going to be really loud, and dirt can get inside and chip them, and it's just not good. You want something to grease it up. But either way, after you've done that, you are going to need to put the drive shaft back on and reinstall the grub screw, and then you're going to slide it on to the chassis of the vehicle. Now, there's no proper way to do it. It's really through a process of trial and error, and I really can't tell you the way I do it, because it's really just a bunch of fooling around, and when it works, it works. Now, you must put these 2 screws right here that are below the shocks. Then, once you're done with that, you can put the whole vehicle back together in any order. It doesn't matter. It's all good, and you won't get mixed up. I'm quite positive, at least with my setup, And then I'll show you when it's done. So I spent about another half hour working on it, and because of my experience, I was able to do it way quicker. And everything is complete. The upgrade's done. And now I'm just going to put in a couple side notes. You might be wondering why I didn't do the front differential. Well, at the moment, my front differential is not in here because a bunch of gears in it stripped, and I just threw it out because, well, I didn't throw it out, I still have scrap parts from it. I have all the drive shafts and whatnot, and I just need the differential. So maybe sometime I'll get the front differential in there. I don't know if I'm going to make an upgrade video on that or not, being that it is a 4-wheel drive vehicle as it comes stock. And for next upgrade, I'm going to be doing the front chassis brace in black from the toys. That's probably going to be in about a week or so. I'm still not completely sure when it's going to arrive, because I bought it on eBay. And I guess I'm going to take the Sidewinder out of here because the weather's pretty good right now. Go do a speed run, have some fun with the Rustler. And I guess that's it for this upgrade, and see you later.